after today, and again, this is not in the area of analysis. I mean, this is strictly just, prognosticating about the result. I haven't said one thing about the substance yet. But my best guess of how the case is going to turn out, I think the Trump folks lose. I think the executive order is held to be illegal. I think there's a decent chance that they just rely on a statute and say that it violates the Immigration Naturalization Act. I think there's a chance that they get into all of the constitutional parts of it, but I'm not convinced they will. I think we will see a number of opinions written in this case. And I'll get into the technical.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna have. I don't want to.
Sorry.
Oh, you're on.
The moderators can deal with that. Yeah. But to get into the analysis just a little, I think it's just astounding the level to it. And this is at a high level, not the specifics of this case. It's astounding to me the degree to which this notion of originalism, which now means original public meaning. That's how we're supposed to interpret the Constitution, according to its original public meaning at the time of its adoption. It's just extraordinary, the tentacles of this ridiculous monster. It just creates the most absurd of arguments. The executive order specifically denies birthright citizenship to undocumented residents of the U.S. or undocumented people present in the U.S., even if they're not residents.
Children of, right?
It denies birthright citizenship. Only someone being born can have. Yes, so that built into that is the concept of a person being born. So it's the babies. At the time that the amendment was adopted, the concept of an undocumented person didn't even exist. And so you just get these Alice in Wonderland arguments that really, if you just take a step back, they just don't make any sense at all. Trying to argue about the quote-unquote original public meaning of the 14th Amendment and what that means with respect to a category of people that was not even a coherent concept at the time that the amendment was adopted is just, it's the same thing we saw in the abortion case. It's the same thing we've seen in the Second Amendment cases, where you just get this ridiculous kind of analysis. And I suspect there's going to be more than one justice who is going to adopt the position that was urged by the Solicitor General today. But I don't think it's going to be a majority of the court. I cannot see 5 justices ripping birthright citizenship away from, I guess, what's estimated to be, 150, 200,000 people a year. And furthermore, as was mentioned in the questioning, several justices, and this is a theme with the Trump regime and their strategy at the Supreme Court, several justices asked the question, we know now you're only asking for us to say that it's legal to do what the executive order does, which is only prospectively, right? It doesn't apply to anyone who's already born. It only applies to future births. But, said the justices, the logic of the government's position would apply just as much to people who were born last year or 5 years ago, or for that matter, 80 years ago. And again, all you get, and this is true in some other cases too, it was true in the abortion jurisprudence as it developed, is, well, that's all we're asking for today, right? And you really don't get any answer to the very, very scary question. The logic of your argument, if we accept your rationale of why you win this case, that rationale applies just as much to someone born last year as it does to someone who hasn't been born yet. And I just can't see a majority of the justices opening the floodgate to that possibility. Not only that it will mean that children born here tomorrow or after the decision can't be citizens, but that it could then be applied next retroactively to take the citizenship away if the number is 200,000 a year. Okay, if you go back 10 years, that's 2 million people. I don't know if the number's consistent, but you get the idea. So just on a prognostication basis, I don't think they're going to win, but I think there's a good chance they might try to go narrow, just for lack of getting 5 justices to agree. And unfortunately, I just don't have enough time to get into the substance of the arguments on both sides. Maybe at some point, later today or in another day, but I'm just in the middle of a lot of craziness. And then I just wanted to mention very briefly the other case, which is even in some ways crazy, or at least it's just as crazy, which is essentially there was a case argued, I think it was only a week ago, but maybe time is compressing for me, where the government is basically arguing that because there's a federal law establishing an election day, right? The basic constitutional background here is states get to decide on the manner of doing federal elections for Congress, for president, but the federal government can decide the time. And basically they argued because the federal law setting a national election day, the two-day thing that we're all familiar with, states can't accept absentee ballots that come in after that. And to listen to that argument, it's just nuts. And the case, this is my last comment, I have to go. The case was about a jurisprudential concept called preemption, right? Because federal law trumps state law, there's this idea of preemption where the feds can come in and legislate in an area that sort of preempts all state laws. So, the feds might set some sort of standard for something, and it essentially means that the states can't come in and put in a different standard. Preemption means we've sort of occupied the field with federal law, states, and it was actually a preemption case. They were arguing law setting a national election day. That's all the law does. It just says it's got to be this date. Preempts state laws saying that absentee ballots that are postmarked can be counted for 3 days, or as long as they're received within 5 days, they can be counted regardless of
It looks like Steve got his call, so I'm assuming he is going to have to take it.
I want to throw in here also that they are slowly defunding post office. We are only getting our mail here 3 times a week. So when you talk about sending it and postmarking it on the right date, they're not necessarily even going to get it within 5.
Have you heard anything about what they're going to do for military? Doesn't the whole military mail in?
I have not yet specifically, but I think this is worth a specific roundup. I was sort of trying to get to this, but
I know that the military.
I would assume the military are, in large part overseas, so of course they would have to do mail-in ballot.
Yeah, the military and it's military and real absentee ballots aren't
exempt from.
for now. What is a real absentee ballot?
A federally approved one, or
If you're really out of town, not we all vote by mail. So if you're a senior citizen, you couldn't be in the town that you vote and you just mail your ballot in. You have to go to the polling station. Well, from what I gather, and I've been watching this rather carefully as I'm a senior citizen, as far as I know, yes, but But I believe that our state is going to prevail on this because because we're run by Republicans and we've been voting by mail for 20 years.
Well, I think you're the state that's promised to do the first legal.
Yeah, I mean, our Attorney General kicks ass.
Well, I think what this means practically is that for anyone who has friends or family or knows any senior citizen, the very concrete thing you could do would be to maybe help them get to the polls.
I think we haven't heard from Larry, Andrea. Larry, do you came up on stage? Would you like to speak up?
Welcome, Larry.
Since he's got just a call, I heard Trump stormed out of the Supreme Court when he heard the arguments being dismantled by his appointees. So I think that to piggyback off of Steve's great comments, he wasn't happy with what he was hearing, and he particularly wasn't happy with what he was hearing from the guys that he's installed on the court. So hopefully that's a good sign.
That's a good way.
Okay, well, we are at time, Andrea. Anybody else would like to have any closing comments before we shut down the room for today?
Pearls of wisdom.
Make sure you have a big belly laugh today about something. Watch something funny, call somebody you like, but chase some joy today.
We have to.
It was good to be with you all today. Thank you.
We have to win 26 or 28. Otherwise, this MAGA trend might continue for a while. But I think if we win 26 and 28, MAGA will be in the history books. It'll be a weird read. And watch the hell out for this flu and COVID. And it's not just seasonal. It's very strange.
Well,
I hope you feel better, Austin.
Yeah, wishing you better. I just want to say that it's not going to stop at the election. Yeah, we need to win, but as our friends are constantly reminding us, then, it'd be very interesting. What is our project 2029? That'd be a fun room to have. And also, we have to do the hard work of how are we going to get the prices down for people? And what are the other, issues? We need some sort of AI initiative to wake the whole country up to it, to be shaping dialogue and outcomes there. What are we going to do? Should we have a big, New Deal to revive the economy? What are some really simple things that we should get through that about 80 to 90% of Americans agree on, like ending Citizen United or ending term limits? Term limits and ending trading ending insider trading in Congress, but you know what I meant.
With basically the tax filing season upon us, if you aren't already doing it, I would recommend volunteering at your local library, help people fill out their tax form. For a large portion of people that are not able to do it themselves, usually they're getting refunds. So just wanted to recommend.
Force hunt to be a poll worker, $300 a day in New York plus 100.
There's also a good link for where anybody senior has free tax help to fill out their tax.
And
on that note,
one other thing, anyone who's connected to donors or people that would like to give to something worthwhile, there's a number of organizations that are going to be preparing to help protect elections, fight any issues that arise in the elections, and or maybe could look at helping people get there's groups that are helping young people who often need guidance and support to get registered and get their IDs in order and advise college kids when they have questions. So there's so much to be done, including the regular traditional GOTV organizations, and of course the real small organizations on the ground, like Fair Fight used to be one of them, but others that will be turning out the vote. So lots to think about.
If we're plugging charities, I would also encourage people to at least look up Doctors Without Borders, because especially with USAID funding minimized under the current administration, those workers need help and need frontline support.
No, absolutely. All right, well, I debated between closing out on a really positive or going back to 1992 to an Ani DeFranco song that really speaks to the issues of who is a citizen. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stream that, and then Andrea, we can shut down the room. We'll be coming back together on Friday. So happy April 1st, everybody, and here we go. Pull it up, and here we go.
What restaurants they going to, getting their bottles together, what clubs they gonna go to. So listen, with the complain about how.
Don't forget getting their kids the new Jordans and shit that just came out. Don't forget all that.
Exactly, and you gotta pay for babysitters, and you gotta pay for Ubers and all this different stuff, and all these different things.
It's still a big event, though. It's
Quit DoorDash.
going to happen for America in 2026. The World Cup is going to be one of the biggest events for American income for 2026. Yeah. And I'm personally, so I'm happy to be an Englishman to go to America and contribute to your.
Don't come over here, bro. Stay where you at.
I'm not you personally.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
So, you said it's hard for you to put food on the table, or you just complain
For a lot of people. Exactly.
Oh, we got tables in there. We got to pull our table in there.
He eat on his bed. He told him Cole eat on his bed, on his pillow. He don't got no table. It's hard.
Yeah, Cole got money. Yeah, you got money.
Why are you complaining for other people? That's from that question.
But as far as what you were
Why are
saying,
you complaining for other people?
as far as what the sister was saying, I've been saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it, that I like Claude, you might like ChatGPT or another, but I truly believe that with your creative black mind and working with the AI, be able to come up with a substantial way to market yourself, create good business, and make good money. But it won't start until you start prompting. It won't start until you start working on it. And you've got to start working on it now. And this is high time to do it. By the end of the summer, you'll have a operable business if that's what you want. And I think that it's all out here for you. Creating LLC, creating the C Corp, creating some type of entity for yourself, opening up a bank, creating a Stripe account, and putting things together, doing things up, doing your YouTube, doing your Google research, and network with the right people and put it together. I know that you can put something together, and not everybody is hurting. And so it's time to start networking. You've got a lot of people that are hit here and there. And I think that you just got to get going and get your roll on. And if you do that, I believe by the end of the year, you could be a millionaire.
Can I jump in there real quick? Can I jump in? Can I jump in there real quick? Hold on. Jamal, I really appreciate you in April, because it's April, someone could create a business, a LLC or a C Corp, to your point, and then go out and get funding, and then that business be profitable to make them $1 million. I'd like to see that business model. Anybody has
You don't have it.
Anybody that has that in the works, please DM me. I will give you my personal phone. I'm still talking, Jamal. I'm still talking, Jamal. I will give you my phone number for you to call. Jamal, can I finish? I will give you my phone number for you to call me because I like to see what you have. I like to look at that business model. I may want to invest. Here's the thing. If you have a talent, okay, if you have a harvest that talent, but don't just harvest it to get into business. There's many chefs that I know that go out and restaurant but have no business acumen. The two are not synonymous. It doesn't automatically.
Can you say that again, Steph, please, real quick?
Yes, I said I know many chefs that have went out and said they were going to open a restaurant and failed because they have no business acumen. So all I'm saying is that there are many levels and nuances to running a business. That's not to discourage you. Do your due diligence. What I was speaking specifically had to do with how you can more money to survive and thrive not in the long term, in the short term. And that's why I brought up, again, other little services that you can
Watch us not get a logical response back to.
One second, where you can make your own schedule, things of that nature in business. Listen, getting funding, all means, not only do they take time, but they take know-how. So all I'm going to say is if there's anyone that is listening that is having a hard time or knows someone that is, leverage your time for money. If that's what you've got to do, leverage your time for money. But in the grander scheme of business, do your due diligence. Do your due diligence because it's not. I'm still talking. Let me land, sir. I'm landing in 2 seconds.
I'm sorry.
There's some things out here trying to sell you a program. Do this, and I've many courses in creating my business. Many courses. There's a lot of repetitive information out there. So do your. There's a try. Do your due diligence. That's.
Has anybody?
Logical response to nothing she just said.
Well, I mean, the first logical response is you got to get out of your bed and have some get up and go. I've been working since 3 o'clock in the morning. Right, yeah. If you ain't got to get up and go about it, you'll never make no money. The early bird always gets the worm. Right, after you're working all day. No. You gotta get your ass out of bed.
His words sounded because he literally just said the same thing previously. Literally. He says the same thing every day.
But that's not what words sound mean.
Say the same shit every day.
I agree, but that ain't what words sound mean.
I'm giving you the tools.
It ain't nothing but words. Ask that man a specific question, and he ain't got it. Where the business model, man?
I don't have to prove anything.
Where the model, man? She asked a specific question. Look, nobody want to answer it. Nigga want to talk about you gotta get up and have some go by yourself. You gotta get up and have some go, nigga.
And then whatever it is you want to create, I like Claude. I don't know. I've told you this 1,000 times. I like Claude. Anything you have in your mind as an idea, start talking to Claude. Download Claude. If you can afford to pay the $10 or whatever the fuck it is, pay for it. And start talking to Claude.
The gas was high. Now you want niggas to get a chat GPT subscription and put gas in the car?
Hey,
this nigga has no solution.
I like Claude.
What the business model she asked you for?
That's what you need to do. Pay for Claude for a business model, and you'll find one. You'll get one.
I mean,
you
got your trucking license. Where you not start saying that?
For my business model, I'm working my own business model, and I'm keeping it under until I'm ready to bring it forward.
You a goddamn lie.
Anybody else?
Why don't you teach people how to drive those trucks instead of just
Alright, that's fine. Can we move it to somebody? Get it off of him and move it to somebody else?
And mix a little YouTube in with that. And then put a dash
Alright.
inch of Google with that.
Okay.
And put all that together and mix all that up and then put a big clump of get up off your ass. And then mix all
Oh
that
shit.
together.
Okay, so with that being said, we still in a badass situation, plain and simple. Trump made it worse, plain and simple. He fucked it all up for us. He fucked the world. He fucked it all up for the world, and now we are in a bigger mess than we were already.
We was already
So, yeah, you know.
before Trump.
Okay, but we weren't as a big mess. You don't have to put fire. You don't have to put oil on the fire, fool. Stop being simple. You simple, man. You simple. If you just can't keep up, just say you can't keep up.
Oh, niggas, if you have
Elementary failed you. Elementary failed you, then it just failed you.
you talk about some shit in the 50, boy.
You're simple, man. You simple. You don't put gasoline on the fire. He made the shit worse. Tell your mama do it.
He called you stupid, man. Don't have it to you, bro.
With that being said, we still in a situation.
When she's in her interviews, she's just, it's like regret.
I think she was planted on that situation, tell you the truth. Because
think
that was
so?
kind of. She didn't admit that she was fucking Harvey.
She didn't admit she was motherfucking Marilyn Monroe either. I mean,
Marilyn Manson. Oh, everybody knew Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, they were on the red carpet together.
He had wealth beyond 10 million.
Okay. But they didn't know that she was fucking the Harvey Weinstein.
Dude, she was.
It sounded like
He
Frankenstein.
was rubbing it in his face when she wore that outfit on the MTV
Oh,
Awards.
God.
That was barely where her ass was hanging out. You remember?
Did you join the Mile High Club?
I'm about to pull it up.
Answer my question,
Oh, God.
Mr. Trump. Did
Oh,
you
God.
join the Mile
And who
High
was
Club?
that woman that was at Sundance that said,
Yes.
Harvey Weinstein has been assaulting me? Who was that woman? And she said it loud and clear. Harvey Weinstein's in the audience trying to hide.
And here's another thing, though. You gotta understand. So, Harvey was basically the fucking scapegoat. He was the scapegoat because guess what? Guess who's had 2 daughters that were interning for him?
Ooh.
Obama's daughters.
Oh my God!
This is when Obama was being looked at for the Pizzagate.
Well, ain't no way in my entire life that I've ordered 40,000 boxes of pizza ever in one sitting.
Exactly. So when Pizzagate dropped, guess what happened right away? Misdirection, the Me Too movement popped, right? Remember that?
Who dropped?
Okay, so Pizzagate was coming out. Pizzagate was being like a conspiracy, whatever, with the guy who shot up the pizza joint. The guy who was one of the Rothschilds. He was one of the Rothschilds.
You look like Luigi from Super Mario. His name was Luigi.
I don't know. It was something else. But anyways, so the guy shot up the place, and that was the main focus. And the names were supposed to get out. The Clintons, the Obamas, and all that. Guess what happened? Harvey Weinstein, the Me Too movement.
He's a fall guy.
There you go. And guess what? His 2 daughters were planted. Because look at Obama was giving Harvey an award. Look at all that. Oprah was hanging with Harvey.
And allegedly, I heard that Beyonce and Jay-Z were hunting children in Africa.
What was the relationship with Harvey and Jay-Z? Well, okay, Band Apart was actually a music production video company as well, besides movies. So guess what? Harvey put a lot of money in production and stuff in a Band Apart.
Well, it's a music apart because I deleted all my Beyonce and Jay-Z shit. Anything affiliated with Rock Nation. I know you used to work for Rock Nation. and I knew somebody that worked there as Jay Brown's right-hand woman and shit. Fuck all that shit. I now. I just feel like going, but it makes you not even want to do music anymore. And then you have to put it in perspective. I know what you know what I'm talking about, Shannon.
Yeah.
When an artist comes to that point of like, you got to put that on an album. You know what I'm saying? And the purpose is the children. I'm doing it for the kids.
Yeah, well, you know what? You have a pretty good manager. She's pretty down to earth, and you know, and so yeah, she wouldn't be Dude, my boy wouldn't be messing with her if if she wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying?
Look, let me tell you, they call her Skinny Monkey for a reason. She don't play no games.
No, but she's a badass, dude. She's very well known in the industry, and another thing is that Chad and my boy, they were like, yard noise. So, I mean, she was repping them. So, yeah. I mean, and Chad is a totally down-to-earth dude.
So what's going on with Chad and Pharrell, that shit going on with him not getting credit for all the motherfucking hits that he
I'm getting messages on that shit, like, immediately when that shit pops up, because my boy, like, dude, my boy's around Chad, like, almost every day, dude. Chad moved back to Virginia Beach, by the way.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And Pharrell was in court and couldn't even sing a note. I mean, he couldn't even tell you what the notes were or progressions.
Nope. Isn't that crazy?
That's like DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled looks like a retard at the fucking production computer, dude. He's got one or two fingers, like, dude. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? He looks like, dude, what? It doesn't even. It's like.
Did he pop a Molly before he got to the session?
I don't know, dude. I don't even think he's the one that makes the music. I think he's just a guy that they make him look like he does. I'm sorry, but that dude does not look like he knows how to make music.
These big producers hire other producers under their camp like Darkchild did, and then they produce it, they come up with it, they bring it to him, then he adds his thing to it, and then he puts his name on it, and they sign the agreements that, hey,
yeah,
I'm the main producer, like Timberland. However, these are the other producers underneath it that added the stems.
So you guys are talking about all the alien hybrids in the celebrity world.
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm gonna tell you this much. I've been writing. You want to hear what I wrote?
Yes. Yes.
Hold on.
Ooh, this drink is good.
First made were the angels, and you better believe that angels are real. Demons are angels cast out of heaven and bound down to the earth, and the evils of this realm are real. They will deceive you to believe that they aren't here, but they are here. And they are after your spirit, your soul, your illusion. Many consider them alien. They mingled and meddled and slept with man's women and gave birth in the Nephilim. The giants amongst man, and giants are real. Goliath was real, and David killing Goliath with a sling and ordained king by God was real. God is real. The orb of light that levitated and shot off into the sky, then disappeared, was real. I saw it. I was there.
I saw it.
My eyes. Man bore witness to the supernatural creator of all timelines,
Shit, we reached
all
our
dimensions,
upload limit.
all parallel realities, synthesized and crystallized into one thing in the entire multiverse, in all of the infinite multiverses. It was a man, Jesus Christ. God.
It was a man!
To the Jewish intelligence community, who stood up to the Roman military-industrial complex, who stood up to the authorities and spiritual wickednesses, sacrificing his own life for the kingdom of eternal life, conquering death to walk amongst us yet again, is all real. We are at war. It's an ideological war, a civility war. The spiritual war is real. The strong will survive. The preservation of the human race is dependent on its capacity for resistance. Resistance to the stripping and mining of your identity. Resistance to the comforts of technology designed to control you. Now is the time to free your mind. The artificial wombs that are being built in fields are really there to harvest every ounce of your energy. For the human body generates more bioelectricity than a 120-volt battery and over 25,000 BTUs of body heat combined with an advanced form of fusion. The elites who worship machines possessed by demons have found all of the energy they need for their technological revolution. They will be sold, some for family, some for organs, some for science, some for slaves, some for soldiers. But the most valuable will be kept in the basement, for they will be keeping the lights on. They will be sold as batteries. Their technocracy is enslavement. Their transhumanism is really an illusion. This illusion is a psychological matrix designed to keeping the war effort appearing to be paralyzed, pulling the wool over our eyes, putting in a tremendous amount of effort into poisoning the water, poisoning the air, putting chemicals in our food, vaccinating liquid metal mercury into our bloodstreams at birth. This paradigm will shift. This war will be won, not by bullets, bombs, or enslavement, but by using the technology of war, written by Sun Tzu, using real ideas, real voices, real talents. Really, the war will be won by the side of mankind, by the side of God, without firing a single bullet. In the beginning, there was only hope, a glimmer of light, peeking through a cracked pyramid, filled with the chaos of this realm. It's Pandora's box. No, it's Pandora's pyramid. I was there, opened it, looked inside, and what I saw was me, broadcasting live from a world ran by AGI. Opioid epidemics and biological weapons. God speaks to us through many vectors. We are only as sick as our secrets, and time, it takes time. So let's get honest, we the people are tired. We wake up just to work a job that we hate, just to get by, just to make someone else rich, while we're sitting in our cars, stuck in traffic, contemplating suicide. There are things worse than death, and living like a slave is one of them. There has to be a way out. There has to be another way. Now is the time to stand up. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your family. Stand up for your freedom. Become a leader in your life. Speak the truth. The truth will set you free. It's time to get off of the tightrope. It's time to be the tip of the spear, because the only thing you can do is not say anything. They manufactured silence, mass manipulated compliance, all under the mantra, trust the science. Standing on the brink of World War IV, addicted to drugs and debt, break free into a parallel dimension of eternal life. The voice of God technology, voice to skull V2K has got me going mental. God, grant me the gift of desperation. I've seen miracles happen. The orb of light that shown itself to me disappeared in front of my eyes after morphing in on itself. Where did it go? No. When did it go? I've opened my mouth and it's gone into me. While the mass distraction is being executed, the ones who are supposed to be helping us are taking $7,000 per post to say nice things about a country on the other side of the world that's committing a genocide. When will you wake up? When will you... Don't listen to me. Listen to God. He's screaming from the rooftops. Open your mind. The nature of reality is not defined by your ability to bend the world to your will. It's definite. It's defiant. It's infinite. It's God's will, not ours. Through struggle, we find strength. Through hate, we find grace. Every moment that goes by is the divine expression of this order in the universe. Be here now. Be still. Thanks for letting me share.
Hooray!
That's pretty dope.
That was dope. Let's give a shout out to Augustus.
Thank you. Yeah. Looks like I lost some people though, but it's all good.
That's me.
Augustus. Look at my PTR. Tell me what you see.
1 second. That's a street lamp.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Is it a UFO?
Yeah.
He says they follow him around a lot.
Check this BTR out, y'all. So I looked at the sky, and the sky, it looked like a firework, right? And then out of nowhere, a ship just manifested.
Anybody can see the sun from where they're at right now?
Yep.
All right. This is what you're going to do. You're going to get a piece of cardboard, regular box, Amazon box cardboard. Make about a 2 or 3 inch circle. All right, cut it out. Then you want to stick like a skewer to hold it. Okay. Everybody with me so far?
Yep.
All right. So you're gonna stick that skewer, whether it's bamboo or metal, into that circle, kind of like a reverse spyglass. So you're gonna and hold it where the sun is the same size as that circle. You with me?
Yep.
All right. You're gonna watch. Okay. On the perimeter of the sun, you will see things moving that don't move in normal shapes, normal directions.
Wow.
You'll see debris on the way up, stuff that you never thought was in the clouds or in the sky, just floating around. It really tuned your eyes to the sun. I've seen these things shooting into the sun. I've seen things shooting out of the sun. I've seen things do 90-degree turns. Yes, it's real. So if you want to do that, check it out. Make sure you get back to us on it, on what you see. Dude, it's fucking wild. Wild. A lot of times when I'm at the beach, just put my thumb up, match it up the sun and watch. What's crazy is to see shit moving slow, darting, moving fast.
Gus, it's called Agora. Found it.
Want to play that link I put in there of Anna Pauline back to we're talking about hybrid. I think that kind of would set the
Yeah, we got to get back on topic. Yeah, if anybody could play that video, that'd be fantastic. What's up, Most Post or High Post?
Yo, what's going on, bro?
Thanks for joining the stage. Yo, let's get back on topic.
Hey, Justice, can you play that link that I posted of Anna Paulina?
Hey, what'd you say?
I posted a link. Yeah, if you play that video of Anna Paulina talking about hybrids back in 2020.
Yeah, I gotta make a call real quick, and then I can play the video. If someone else can play it, that'd be even better.
Bunch of fucking strokers. Really?
That's all. It's all good. So why do you think the release of Matt Gates talking about disclosure on hybrids living amongst us, and then another post corroborates the entire story all within the same day? So, Neil, that's a great question.
Great room.
Said it's in the books on the top shelf, hidden in the codes of the star belt. I chased every trick, every shortcut, still felt like I was stuck in the mud. And then my granddad laughed and said, boy, lean in. You keep asking what, but not who you been. Secret wisdom of success ain't a mansion, ain't a check. Showing up when you feel small, making promises, then giving all, standing steady in the middle. That's the secret wisdom of success. I learned to shake hands, look 'em straight on, say I don't know yet and still stay strong. Turn a late night log to a listen care. Count my blessings more than the money I give. 'Cause every heavy door needs 1,000 knocks. Every overnight took a lifetime's cost. Secret wisdom of success is the work that no one checks. It's saying sorry when you're wrong, calling home before you scroll along. It's loving harder when there's less. That's the secret wisdom of success. It's the early rise, the tired eye, helping friends before you rise, keeping faith when plans fall through, not quitting on the truth in you. Secret wisdom of success, more than trophies, more than flex. It's quiet courage in your chest, doing daily what you do the best, when your heart's the one you impress. That's the secret wisdom of success. Oh, yeah. Said it's in the books on the top shelf, hidden in the codes of the stock bell. I chased every trick, every shortcut, still felt like I was stuck in the mud. Then my granddad laughed, said, boy, you keep asking what, but not who you've been. Secret wisdom of success ain't a mansion, ain't a check. Showing up when you feel small, making promises, then giving all, standing steady in the mess. That's the secret wisdom of success. I learned to shake hands, look 'em straight on, say I don't know yet and still stay strong. Turn a late night loss to a lesson kept, count my blessings more than the money I get. 'Cause every heavy door needs 1,000 knocks. Every overnight took a lifetime's cost. Secret wisdom of success is the work that no one checks. It's saying sorry when you're wrong, calling home before you stroll along. It's loving harder when there's less. That's the secret wisdom of success. It's the early rise, the tired eye, helping friends before you rise. of courage in your chest. Doing daily what you do the best. When your heart's the one you impress. That's the secret wisdom of success. Oh. Acting up in a city lights, but they look so cold. Every promise already sold. Running circles inside my mind. Dreaming of a free time. Maybe we're just scared to try. Maybe we believe a lie. Holding back what we can't ignore. There's gotta be something more. I hear a voice inside my chest saying don't settle for less. I'm craving change. I need to feel something real, not just talking. I wanna give more than all this empty spin. I'm craving nights, hoping nights, hearts that rise and take control. If we're falling, we can stand together. We can change it all.
I'm an artist, musician, and politician. Coach down Libertarian, liberator, Republican, Chicago.
Break the silence, break the chain, raise a voice in every lane. Every vote can turn the tide. No more letting life pass by. Maybe we can shape the sky. Choosing how we live and cry, building dreams we can't ignore. There's gotta be something more. I'm craving change. I just need to feel something real, not just hope. I wanna get on and on. It's gonna take a minute. I'm craving life. Hope ignites. Hearts that rise and take control. If we're falling, we can stand together. We can change it all. We won't pretend this is not how our story ends. We'll take the risk, we'll cross the line, just to know this choice is mine. I'm not winning. Chicago's in brand circus clowns. Mother knows best. City lights, but they look so cold. Every promise already sold. Running circles inside my mind. Hello? Dreaming of a free time. Hello? I posted on Instagram in the comments section on this very liberal Democrat Chicago account called book called the Shy Book Club or whatever it is, and I'm getting roasted by Chicago residents, claiming that I'm a ghost, I'm a spook, all kinds of stuff. But I'm just writing back, hello?
Hello?
So we are about to engage in the book club. That's right. No, this is not a mystical sorcerer, magic, thalametic, Freemasonic, mystical association. These are just books. And I'm just a bald guy reading a book. Stop using me as your evergreen totem pole of catch-all projection. I didn't do this. I'm just a man recording you saying all kinds of shit. So I recorded Deep State Patriots earlier. They're back, unfortunately. And they'll be back this Friday. And we are going to record them this Friday.
Back as well.
Who?
Diego, the happy dandruff hair.
Diego's back! Yay! Well,
They were in the masculinity mansion talking about the Jews.
Did you hear Tim Robbins yesterday get roasted by the Viking warrior?
No, I didn't.
Holy shit. It was beautiful because Tim Robbins, he can't stop talking as he's getting roasted, and Viking is just mercilessly roasting him. And Tim Robbins is just like mumbling this Irish like mumbles shit. It is so honestly, it really any different. And so my dad got very upset with me. But the truth is, I didn't want to go sit in a room for a couple hours every Saturday. Eventually it got a little old. But the guy that baptized me passed on.
Like the best option though is like not to actually go to like the sermon portion of like church and just go to like the actual Sunday Saturday studies, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where you get like real sort of like gleans of wisdom from other people, like their own interpretations of the Bible. That's what I prefer that to the actual sermon when I'm just like being
sort of like talk to for about an hour. It's not really worth it.
Well, we would watch videos of the founder of the church. His name was Garner Ted Armstrong, and my dad would sleep and fall asleep, and I was so embarrassed because I was like, I can't believe we come here and it's like so disrespectful to the to the preacher or to the pastor. Anyways, eventually I stopped going.
I have a similar thing with like my dad, where like how he treats like customer sort of like employees and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or like where we go to like a restaurant and he doesn't think like he's above them, but he wants like perfect service, and I'm like, come on, Dad, like these people are getting paid like like less than $3 an hour as servers. You're not going to be getting like amazing service. You should just like kind of lower your expectations, and that's sort of like the way that you're treating them,
Yeah. I think you can actually find out somebody's persona by the way they treat, waiters, etc. Because it's really also about awareness. Because I was a server, I went from working at Google, making over 6 figures, to working at a pizza restaurant, making nothing, and the respect that you get as a server just doesn't exist. People don't even people just basically think you're a robot. They have no idea that you're a real human breathing human. They talk to you and treat you as if you are literally just a robot and not a real person. And be careful who you're rude to, really. Like on the internet, even making this comment on making an insensitive comment, even if it's accurate, can still lead to significant friction. So,
especially with like Dr. Adams, how he has that ban button, that he can like instantly like ban anyone. It was given to him by the clubhouse overlords. So he really hasn't pulled up. He just pressed it and like boom, you're gone.
If you suck one security head's dick, apparently you can, control who uses a dying app.
Yeah, it's called sex intelligence. You're the one that brought it up. Epstein was practicing it as well.
It's interesting. I never heard it put that way, but yeah, disgusting. And Clubhouse, what's amazing is like the stupid gold coins and shit. Like I actually spent the time to set up my Stripe account, upload my driver's license, upload my W-2, connect my bank account, and then they just delete my account. All that fucking, it's like, are you guys really trying to run a business here? Because like I'm a power user. I'm a fucking power user. So anyways.
It would be nice if it was like something similar to like Cash App. Like when you first.
Honestly, X is incredible. Like, but TikTok is also pathetic. The fact that you can't say the R word.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, what in the world? That's like, most of these people are, R words anyway, so it's like, you're sort of like describing the nature of what reality is. And so it's like, you're just trying to censor reality when you do that.
See, I can understand like getting to a point where you don't actually use any offensive terminology because like that's actually not intelligent.
Like, hey buddy, like the nice southern way of doing your insults.
No, I guess what I'm saying is there's no real reason to intentionally try to insult people. That is just not intelligent. Even if you're offended by what they're saying, to just cascade and create additional friction is not intelligence. Now, I guess it's possible that it could be used effectively, but honestly, in terms of like personal problems and friction that it can create, it's much better to always try to be super rational and de-escalate somebody else's emotional situation.
Yeah, it's like to embody the logos.
Yeah. It's very hard to maintain in the moment or to even think about it because you're immediately drawn into the opposing party's hypnosis. And
well, it's like what the Taoist says, like, I alone am it. I alone am going, tossed away wave by wave, So, like, when you're in, like, sort of an unfamiliar situation, put yourself in that sort of perspective. That's, like, how everyone is, irregardless of where your position is.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess regret is a concept, but like intelligence transcends and improves all systems. But intelligence, see, I think I'm trying to do bait and switches all the time because in my comments, I'm trying to gaslight, but then I have a secret surprise, which is I'm actually like I'm an enlightenment persona. So I bought a bunch of Thomas Paine books. Do you know who Thomas Paine is?
He brings the pain.
Yeah, he's a pain in people's ass. The philosopher is always the pain in the ass. And that's why Roman emperors eventually outlawed philosophy, because they said it's just politics. And so they outlawed it. They actually banned the art of philosophy.
Yeah, one of the reasons there's this thesis, it's called selective breeding and the birth of philosophy. One of the reasons why they banned philosophy was because they were bringing up dangerous ideas of, like, eugenics.
What's interesting too is I think most people think they're philosophers. And so if I gaslight and then they re-gaslight, I failed to note their philosophy. Meaning that they're not expressive of it, but also this is like another thing. Like if I take a chick out on a date and she's beautiful, she's wonderful, I'm in love, etc. If you believe in magic, what you're actually doing is you're being attracted to somebody's magic and their magnetism. But every single person has this magic potential. And it's not just potential, it's actuality. But it's hard to actually know that everybody walking around on Earth is a magician, a sorcerer, or a sorceress.
Well, it's like that's in regards to, like, the super stimulus, right? People that smile more, that laugh, they stimulate that sort of portion of your brain, and that's sort of like the magic potential that they're kind of tapping into.
Wait, say that part again?
It's like super stimulus. That's just magic and a different sort of, like, terminology,
Yeah.
right? Because, like, when you smile, when you laugh, you're tapping into, like, the art of persuasion. And if when you can get it so, like, unconsciously done, you're not, like, forget to, like, fake it until you actually make it. And it'll be ingrained into sort of, like, the personality of who you are over time.
What's interesting is Sora has these Trump videos of him in like Judge Judy's court, smoking weed, like tonguing and kissing Barack Obama, like crazy Trump
I've seen
videos.
some really unfortunate, like point of view as a Trump. Like, it's really it's an info hazard.
Well, what I'm saying is, what was I gonna say? Anyways, that is super stimulus, and I've been posting the videos just to see if the algorithm will pick it up. But also, like, I have so much content out there and so many accounts. This is what's kind of interesting is that I have achieved a state with my enemies, like whoever reported my accounts and got me deleted or gets other accounts deleted over the years, that the sheer amount of accounts that I have makes finding specific content difficult to even report. Because when you see the number of YouTube videos I have and how long the live streams are, to like actually try to find that moment that some individual wants to complain about is difficult. But
get like a transcript of all those hours that you've recorded for each
YouTube creates transcripts, and they also do closed captioning, which is amazing. And the closed captioning is where you can see how the algorithm actually determines, okay, this is abusive, this is hate speech, this is a violation. And it's really all in the transcript. It's not even the there's context to the statement, but anyways.
Hey, what's up, Abby? I heard what's his name? Diego. He's back, right? To the app. Happy hair, Mr. Dandruff.
I also like kicked and blocked Nora from her room the other day because she was like sitting in the audience, like, you know, shit posting me, and she was also attacking me in some other rooms. Like, she's a very aggressive person.
Is it Scarface?
Yeah, Scarface. Like, blocking her and avoiding her is like one of those things where in life where I definitely recognize out of sight, out of mind is a good thing. And it's good for them too, because I am a gaslight. And I don't want people fixated on me who I gaslight. Like, hit it and quit it and block it and forget it. Like, some people are toxic, and the highest level of toxicity to me as an artist and a creator is someone who gets my content removed. But it's also a me problem, as I admitted before, that intelligence doesn't actually intentionally cause friction. I really am just interested in exceeding and improving myself, intellectually, intelligently. So this app is like a breeding ground for bad behavior.
Begonia, right? Yeah, Begonia, and what's her face?
She-Wolf.
The other one. She-Wolf. Yeah, that got eclipsed.
Well, we don't know for sure. It's impossible to ever really know because we have so many enemies. Abby, do you want to come up and say anything? And by the way, I was just teasing you about your PTR. Like, you're a beautiful person, and you're not a toxic creature that came out of Chernobyl. You're a beautiful person, and I only like bringing it up because like weirdos on this app love to say, "Hey, you want to see Abby's photo?" It's like, wow. I mean, Abby, I live stream myself every day, 24 hours a day. Like, there's no shame in my game, like, you can see me.
I think John, you're just super curious to see how Abby looks like. I think that's what it comes down to. You have like this voice, you just want to put an image to
No, I know what she looks like now because Bussy showed me her photos, and Bussy showed me other photos.
that's AI. Like, I'm telling you.
Well, it doesn't really matter what you look like.
You know that he's an AI person. Like, yeah, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, I don't care if you make fun of my looks. Like, it's funny to me too.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because I thought maybe you were upset.
I do look like I just came out of Chernobyl. Are you the? No, I'm not. Right now? Yes. No, I usually cannot speak anymore. I'm doing stuff. That's why. I'm not upset or something. I still love you, drink Kitover.
Oh wow.
I mean, love is a strong word. I like you.
I'm trying to be more lovable.
Was that just that's difficult. Were we just gaslighting? Difficult. Yeah.
Well, what if I could become more lovable?
Focusing on your research, Abby? Yes, also on other stuff too. So, a lot of things going on. So yeah, I talk less. I talk in certain hours. So I have my hours that I speak more. Yeah, I'm usually in the audience these days. I'm literally like a grease pig. That's like my new job title. Filling up oil in people's cars. From like being a glorified paper pusher to pushing oil, I guess.
Well, in my opinion, pushing paper is better than pushing oil. My uncle was in the insurance business.
You know, smoking, sitting is like the new smoking, man. If you're sitting for like 10 hours every single day, that's gonna kill you.
Yeah, but you don't actually sit. I mean, you spend a lot of time doing other things, like wasting time.
Your body is wasting away, decaying.
Well, when I was
like
working,
underneath you, and then like the amount of
Well, when I was working for the IRS downtown Chicago, I mean, I would go and do power walks to buildings and look at like the historical architecture. Like there was just limitless amounts of things to do. So, but the thing is, if you have to be in that cubicle because you have to, that's the fucking job. Well, then you're dealing with stupid people. You know, there's just.
But also, most of that stuff, it's getting automated away, man. Like AI is gonna just eat it up. Like low data entry, all that stuff. Like it's gonna be gone in the next couple of years. Call centers.
Yeah,
That's
but
done. Like there's no such things like
AI can't do lock repair. AI can't fix a window latch. AI can't fix a boiler. AI, it assists, but there are certain things in reality. See, this is the great AI bubble because
that's the blue. Yeah, the blue collar. That's why I transitioned over. I was like, I need to become a mechanic. That's like one of the last things that's gonna eat away.
well, you're at that point where, in my opinion, because you understand the power of communication and maybe the commodification or commercialization of communication, uh, that game is just so much fun to compete in and try to make money that putting oil in people's car eventually will become redundant and you'll hate it because it's too redundant. And you'll know the value of communication.
Well, there's the portion of the communication is when we try to sell them the services, like the customers.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to become a master hypnotist so I can get my sales up.
Matt comes in, then he leaves. He is so.
He's always like, "Hello, can anyone hear me?"
Yeah,
Hello, can anyone hear me?
You're so passive aggressive, Matt. Are you like this in the real world?
I'm my true self.
Oh, this is you, huh?
Yeah.
Do you think you're a disappointment to your parents?
No, I don't.
Come on, that's not a nice question.
Well,
No, it's okay. It's okay.
no, I mean, I think all communication is projection, and so I'm risking my own self-esteem by asking that question. Hello? Watch, Matt's gonna leave any moment. He's just gonna boop, then he's gone. That's what he does.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, well, tell us about yourself, Matt. Give us a paragraph bio.
What would you like to know?
Whatever you want to tell us about yourself in one paragraph. Think about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would prefer to answer like a pointed question about something you want to know.
Okay, tell us about your childhood.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, did I just send you some
Couple
gold?
hours to go. It's not quite yet here.
Did you get gold?
It's 3:05.
Did somebody send you gold coins? Hello?
Did you have a savior?
What do you think I'm doing right now? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we're gonna have our Passover Seder soon.
Air Force has already started.
Yeah, 8 days. Yeah, I have to go to Home Depot. You crack me up. You really do.
Do you know they cut the foreskins of little babies and then they fry it in this calamari that you eat in Red Lobster?
That's the first part I have to.
Hello? Hello? Okay, so this is the book club where you can read a book for 10 minutes or 1 minute if you want. You could read a little poem here. This is a good opportunity to read, to break the conditioning app. Oh, I wanted to mention about Trump is these AI Trump videos. It made me realize how much of a great master Trump is in conditioning all of us. His suit, his tie, his hair, his speech, his communication. He is a master hypnotist of the highest order, and truly, the president actually is like the master hypnotist. He fools everyone every time. Every 4 years, we get fooled again. So, the number 4. Does anybody here know spiritually what the number 4 represents? Oh, look, it's Rico Bosco. Oh man, Rico, you were getting chewed out, dude. Hilarious. The Viking warrior is truly a berserker. Brad Stauffenberger from.
You're talking about that one.
Did you just burp, Matt? Rico, welcome to the room. Rico, welcome. The berserker had shalom. The berserker had you in his sights yesterday. You were getting hit up. I never really viewed you as like a groiper.
All I did was state the fact that I actually see controls as trailer our moves, and they're making the world pay tolls.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of crazy that they're toll keepers on fucking in the ocean? Like, how the fuck do they get away with that? I can understand the Panama Canal because like somebody had to build that, diversion. But if it's just the open body in the ocean, how the fuck does a country claim taxing authority on a public waterway? I don't understand that.
Might is right, right?
Might is right. That's what the fascists say.
Isn't that sort of like the truth of the universe, though? Like, you wake up, that's using might to wake up from your sleep. Anything that you do, you're using energy. You're fighting against entropy.
What do you think about that, Matt?
I have no opinion or thoughts about that.
Do you have an opinion or a thought about anything?
Yeah, just on that topic.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. What do you think about John Kitover, mayoral candidate of Chicago?
I don't know anything about him.
Got it. All right. Well, this is the book club. And Abby, Matt, Rico, Zen, you can read a book here. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that, Matt? Hello?
Would you vote for John Kitover? Would you vote for John Kitover?
Absolutely. I'll be voting for myself in the February 23rd, 2027 mayoral candidate, election. I'll be voting for myself. So, this is the book club. Thank you.
I kind of want to hear Rico or Matt like read something. I don't think I've ever heard them like actually read anything.
I don't read. Yeah,
You might have to actually be able to read. You could call it publicly speaking, but I don't think Matt or Rico, despite the fact that they think they're like, cool guys, maybe semi-successful, I don't think they're actually very good at publicly speaking. Have you guys ever done Toastmasters?
No, Toastmasters is for people that can't publicly speak.
Yeah, that's you. Toastmasters was
So what's the
created.
last book, Matt, that you've read?
Toastmasters was created for guys like Matt. Hello, Matt. I'm willing to bet that if I look at Matt's profile, it's all my rooms. Let's take a look. No? No! Nothing! What the fuck? Damn, you've been in a lot of rooms. Oh.
A couple days ago, called American Diner Gothic. Have you guys heard about this essay?
Yeah.
No, you mentioned it earlier, but no.
It's really, really good. It sort of describes
like what's going on in middle America.
Zen, why don't you give us the compression?
Yeah, so it's sort of like the internet coming into like into the real world, you know, like Discord or all these sort of trends that used to be like sort of hidden away, furries, all that stuff. Is like it's taking over middle America, like the flyover states, and these urban centers. They kind of started it, but they moved away from like queerness and all that stuff. But middle white America is just really picking that up, that sort of psychological contagion.
Okay, this is the book club. You can read a book here. This is a book safe space. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. You can pick up a book here at any moment and you can just start reading. A book is alive. And it's just waiting
What
to.
about you, what's like a recent book that you've read that's been pretty good?
I have it here. I will show you.
In my opinion, this is actually a great
I
way.
think you will like this one. It's not the one that I used to read, but this one is a fucked up one. It's The of the Eye from George Bataille. It's a very fucked up book. If you like disturbing stories.
One book called Blender Babies. It's where like it's like this horror slash it's a horror just a horror like book, and it's pretty fucked up. It's pretty messed up where like these zombies, they need to blend up babies in a blender.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No, this is not really horror. It's slightly horror, but it's also not. It's like two teenagers exploring their sexual desires, but it's like it's really written in details and very disturbing in a way. I wish I never read it actually. I cannot complain about the writer's skill that he can go in such depth in describing stuff. So it's very fascinating to me. But definitely like a disturbing book I wish I didn't read.
So in the book club, we have one rule. We don't actually talk about the books until we've read them.
Oh, we read, yeah. But unfortunately I have to leave soon.
Oh, well, that's great. We'll just take 60 seconds. Go ahead.
Have you read 120 Days of Sodom?
No.
That's a pretty messed up one too. It's by Marquise de Sade, and it was written in 1785, but it wasn't published until 1904 because it detailed the depraved sexual acts of like 4 libertines in a secluded castle. It's pretty messed up. And one book that John recommended as well was like Satanic Sex by Arlene Fitzgerald, and I've been trying to find it, and I can't find it anymore. It's like,
you have the book?
I think he's focused communication through his channels.
I can't believe you're monetizing off me.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm trying to start this nonprofit called the Chicago Book Poetry Meditation Society. And basically, we help people read books. And you get 1 minute to 10 minutes to read a book. Hello? We have one rule in the book club. We don't talk about books. We read books. Hello?
So I did pull up the story of the Eye by George Bataille. I don't know, Bataille. And here's some of the quotes from the book. Extreme seductiveness is at the boundary of horror. Another one is, to others the universe seems decent because decent people have gilded eyes. That is why they fear lewdness. They are never frightened by the crowing of a rooster or when strolling under a starry heaven. In general, people savor the pleasures of the flesh, only on condition that they be insipid. But as of then, no doubt existed for me. I did not care for what is known as pleasures of the flesh, because they really are insipid. I cared only for what is classified as dirty. On the other hand, I was not even satisfied with the usual debauchery, because the only thing it dirties is debauchery itself, while in some way or another, anything sublime and perfectly pure is left intact by it. My kind of debauchery soils not only my body and my thoughts, but also anything I may conceive in its course. That is to say, the vast starry universe, which merely serves as a backdrop. That was pretty nice. It wasn't as bad as what you were making it out to be, Abby.
I think you can finish with it in 2 nights, maybe. I don't know how long you go usually in one go. Happy birthday, Julian. I missed your birthday, I'm sorry.
Oh, here's another quote that's a little bit more disturbing from the book. As for the fact that Simon dared to piss on the corpse, whether in boredom or at worst in irritation, it mainly goes to prove how impossible it was for us to understand what was happening, and of course it is no more understandable today than it was then. Simon, being truly incapable of conceiving death such as one normally considers good, was frightened and furious, but in no way awestruck. Marcel belonged to us so deeply in our isolation that we could not see her as just another corpse. Nothing about her death could be measured by common standard, and the contradictory impulses overtaking us in this circumstance neutralized one another, leaving us blind, and, as it were, very remote from anything we touched, in a world where gestures have no carrying power, like voices in a space that is absolutely soundless.
And the decision that was made at the council. Okay, so the decision that was made at the Jerusalem Council, they were sent by their churches, like Paul and Barnabas were sent as delegates from Antioch, right? And the decision that was binding was made at the council. They didn't go back. They didn't go back to the.
Here, I called black people 1,000 times the N-word. I called people chinks, beaners, niggers, pikes.
So when is Twink's experience tweet death?
It's literally the end of the world.
All the time. I don't even consider that a slur. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm not talking about you, but I'm just saying in general, the Twinks.
When they just start saying, hey, there's like a boss. But if somebody was special,
you leave it out. Why would it have to be special? Why wouldn't it be the most decent thing to do?
Look at Brian.
Oh, you wanted to add me on Instagram. His profile. Yeah, I didn't do it, but his profile is open. I'm like, I saw some of his earlier photos and some of the current ones that he's posted. Yeah, it's definitely declined over time.
I mean, these are still old pictures.
The intelligence that you have. So I think whenever you try to muddy the waters and dirty like your language, it doesn't add any justice to you. It doesn't give you any fucking goals. You know what I mean? Because I think you have the
Guess what? We made a Diego sighting!
Of teaching people as opposed to...
Thank you.
I gotta say, Pepe's a fence
He just
though.
got moved down and I just accidentally moved him back up.
Okay, yeah, Rich, I'm gonna move you back down, nigga, if you don't cut off the people, bro. But and Pepe's a fence, BB, but you notice what happened. There was a lot of tension when Pepe first opened up White America, but you notice towards the end, all the black people were in there smoking and joking, laughing with him, and they actually learned to respect him. They learned how to tolerate and get past the shock jock language, and then the conversations actually started being very good and very and a lot of substance.
A lot of hate.
So I'm saying, like,
lot of hate.
I'm where people don't listen when you're nice and kind and
just in it. I mean,
Yeah. And then how easily topics can be deviated from the primary conversation, and people bring up their own personal
himself to where I can understand where he was coming from. So
fast.
my goal is to squash the stigma, man. It's
all they really want is an opportunity to talk about themselves.
It's like the gefilte fish and the hot sauce meat with the pumpkin spice.
Even crazy autistic people are welcome in this place.
That's right.
Dude, I was across the street at the Jewish deli, and I was not okay. My screen was open, and it was in this title would have been shown because I was kind of holding it up to near my chest, and I was like, what? The lady behind me, I could hear the two talking, but I was kind of ignoring them. It looked like she was kind of looking over my shoulder, and I'm like, well, I'm not saying anything. So it couldn't be anything I said. But then when I stepped forward, I saw that this title was there, and I was like, oh shit.
She's probably on the phone with Masada.
So man,
they probably said something on my ankles.
That's a collection of people in the masculinity mansion today. What a phenomenal group of guys. Truly, I think we can make some changes in the world around us.
It looks like the partial government shutdown has ended, and it looks like the...
Hey, that was your cue to say, shut up, nigger. Yo, Rich.
Did you see that the TSA wants clear bags to go through check-in?
Didn't see that. I don't know where you get a clear bag.
Yeah, clear, carry-ons, the land that you want.
I'm sorry, I go out and buy new stuff.
I don't disavow
that decision. Never heard that one.
I got a phone call, so I don't know. We were talking, and did anybody have any idea what Trump is going to be talking about tonight?
Yeah, Iran.
You think it's going to?
Well, we're having.
Hopefully, he talks about Artemis. I mean, that's a big accomplishment. Today is hopefully going to take off at 6 p.m. thereabouts.
I think he's going to announce some blood sacrifice.
It's going to redo.
Carg Island blood sacrifice.
We're finally going around the event.
Yeah, finally. A couple years late.
Why should we go to the moon?
Grandmother said if you have money, you can travel.
Why should we go to the moon when we can make the Middle East look like a moon?
So, number one, the government shutdown has ended, and number two, the Supreme Court justices are like, but they're not buying this ending of birthright citizenship. So those are two big developments, both sort of government.
The arguments I've heard, though, are really, really bad, it seems like. I know that, there was one argument that, I can't think of her name right now, but she made that the reason why, she made the argument that if you're in Japan as a U.S. citizen, you have an allegiance to their laws. So you have a sort of allegiance to that country, which is really interesting. I wouldn't call, knowing that you have a consequence of committing a crime in another country as allegiance.
That's not really what that means. The argument that Trump is making, and this is sort of indelicate, this is for the slaves. This is for the slaves. Literally, that phrase in the Constitution was designed to folks who had...
That's a question you'll have to ask yourself.
That's his argument. That has nothing to do with, again, as he put it, Chinese billionaires visiting the United States, having a kid here, and then making them all family citizens of course, you can't just have the kid who's a citizen staying here and then
Abby, what are you doing listening to Alarmo?
It doesn't look like he's going to win on that one. Because the Constitution is pretty specific. In other words, he's arguing...
Why are you listening to him if you don't want to? Just click leave.
Not on the actual words, which are very clear. If you're born here...
Hello?
We're all educated enough to realize that the 14th Amendment is not even relevant. It was never properly ratified, and it could not have been properly ratified. We don't need to have useless conversations about whether or not an illegitimate
extension of an illegitimate
What am I doing
government
right now?
is going to say one thing or another. The entire government is illegitimate. If you'd like to get into the weeds and understand,
Are you visiting
why
from another
authority
solar system or something?
is illegitimate, please don't interrupt me. Look, I find it hard as a rule to listen to you whine. It's
No, it's a question, not a
I
why.
think the term is kvetch.